Hey everyone, Craig Williams here, back with another video. In this video, I'm going to do another walkthrough of a remix that I had come out last week on the 18th. I think it was last Monday anyway. And I already did a walkthrough for Connect and Reconnect, so I thought I'd do a walkthrough for this remix I just did. I'll play you a little bit so you can get the feel, but all the links to buy the track or to listen to the full track without me talking over the top of it will be in the description, so you can just go there and have a look, and if you want to listen to it properly, or even better, if you want to buy a copy, you can just follow the links. So there you go, there's a little bit of it there. It's pretty sort of tech housey vibe, sort of going probably a little bit more into the sort of techno side. But I'll just go through some elements and show you what's going on and stuff like that. Let's go, just do a run through of drums and stuff. So the drums are pretty simple, but I wanted it to sort of chug along. I can go through each channel. Just got EQ and compression on the kick, nothing too crazy. Same as what you would have seen in other videos. Clap doesn't even have any compression on it. It's just just a bit of EQ, and then what I've done with the claps as well is also I got these two here with, as you can see, it's got a reverb on there, so it really, the reverb sounds really comes out. I just wanted it to sort of change it up a little bit. And then for those settings, I've just got the density all the way down, and yeah, it's nothing too crazy there. Little tambourine shaker. I like to put these in sort of the last 2 bars at the end of an 8 bar. So and then take it out again. Hats, pretty simple sort of hats. And then I've got, you can see that I've put a flanger on them, so and all I've done is just bounce that out again with the flanger on it, and I think it helps add a little bit more movement in the track. Here I've got the off 909 hi-hat and a couple of plugins haven't shown up, but like Decimort, just to add a little bit of dirt to it, and just a little shuffled hi-hat there. And this ride is, you'll hear it just pitches up all the way. It helps add that sort of feeling that the track's rising. So yeah, nothing too crazy there, and just a little glitched. And then I got a ring shifter on there. Just helps add a little bit more movement. And then just some little percussion down here. Like, nothing is sort of too crazy in this track. This vocal was from the original, with all the delay and everything like that on there. And as we come down a little bit further, just some little effects I've got just little bits and pieces every now and then to sort of add a little bit more to the mix. And then I've got these two, which you can, if I go only a little bit there, just helps fill out the track a little bit more. As we come down a bit further, here's the lead sound from the original. It was already sounding pretty good, so all I did was just send it to some reverb and a bit of chorus to help thicken the sound out a bit. And the only real change I did from the original, these are all the original parts, which is kind of a lot. I just cut up the rhythm, the way that the stabs hit, and just help them sit with the bass a little bit better. So because it was a little bit too out before, so I just, I really liked the way that the pattern was, but there was like 1 or 2 notes that I just shifted around just by cutting. Just went in and cut them by hand and then just shifted them to where I wanted it. The bass sound, I'm pretty sure I've covered this one in the past, but it's got like a nice low, it's nice and round, and it's just really good sound. All I've done for that is just add a little bit to the mid, high mids. Took out a little bit at 50 just to take out the sort of, I've done that twice. I don't know why, but I must have thought it was good at the time. Just to take out a little bit of the overpowering, can just sort of overpower a little bit. I got a little tiny bit of drive and no knee just to sort of bolster the sound a little bit, and then obviously the side chain, and as well sending it to a chorus, and then on the chorus we've just taken out the low end there. So that's the 2, that's the high sound and the bass there. So some other sounds that I've got is just this little amber. It's just this plug-in here. It's pretty much, I think, just the initialized patch, and just made sure I've got plenty of release on there, and just for these little sounds here. So when it's playing in the track, just little bits to help add the transitions and stuff like that. And some other little effects. I've just got some got big risers. I showed how to make this one in a past tutorial, and then I've just bounced down some little white risers and white crashes and stuff like that. That's building and building and building there. So there you go. For arrangement, because the track's pretty simple, there's not really sort of much synthesis or anything like that to go into. For the way that I've done the arrangement, it's pretty much the same on most of my tracks. I'll do a 32 bar intro. Sometimes I do 40, but most of the time, and especially when you're starting out, it's always, I think it's kind of good to do a 32 bar intro, especially when you start playing your tracks out. It gives you enough time to mix them and stuff like that. As I go along, I've just got the lead sound filters in, and then I go so it transitions over the top and continues on, so it makes the transition between these two sections nice and smooth. It's sort of because you've got elements carrying over that are the same, it helps the transition become a lot smoother. And I found with the SoundCloud listening group that a lot of you guys just have a huge white noise riser, and then your section will just change totally in the break, and then it will change totally into the drop, and it sort of doesn't have a cohesiveness. It sounds like a couple of tracks sort of blended together. So that's why it's good to sort of have a couple of elements that carry over. I mean, you don't always have to do it, but sometimes it helps just to make the transitions a little bit smoother. And then from there, I've just got, if we go down, and so I have that section there building up, and then it just strips back down into the drop where I just have kick, snare, and bass and the lead sound. See, from there I'll let the groove sort of play out for 8 bars. Still have like those little reverb clap sounds. Bring in a little vocal sample, start bringing in some more for the next 8. Because it's a tech house track, I want the groove to sort of really drive the track.
Are you ready?
Sort of have a section here where it's kind of a mid-late where I strip it back down a bit, add some more of the original vocal. And then, as you can see there, it's a nice little tip. As the clap comes in here, the second clap, cut everything. And it sort of gives it anticipation that something else is going to happen. So, as you can see there, building and building again. And as you can see, I've just done this as blocks of 8. So, added some more little toms in there, and you can see I've added these little effects in as well. And we go from lead to no lead, and then the lead filters in this section, and the lead is back at full here. I wanted the bass to really shine in this bit, and then everything starts coming back in, and then we have and then for that I've got an auto filter, and then I've got a little short attack, so it sort of gives that womp sound. Sort of the filter is opening a little bit every time a note hits, so transition into, we've got the lead going now, we've got everything going, bring in the little vocal there. Here we drop out the snare, or the clap. And it starts to build up, and then I've only got a 16 bar break, which is, it's kind of a 16 bar break, but this builds up, and then it's sort of, I mean, you could call it an 8 bar break. It drops out, and then everything comes back in. Oh, well, the kick bass. And then this is sort of the section where everything comes back in again. And again, I do that little trick where the clap, and then everything else gets cut on the clap. to include that. It'll be a 32 bar sort of main section. And the other little bit that I've done here is these little synth edits, and all I've done is used the stutter edit, which isn't on this laptop. It's on my main computer. And then I've just cut up, like sent the lead sound there, and then just to add a little bit more variation, so you sort of know at the end of, it's not just the same sort of loop playing all the way through. I wanted something a little bit different. I didn't sort of go too crazy on it. These are two different patterns here. And then I've separated that one and put a nice some delays on there and stuff like that. So if I see, so adds a little bit more, and then a white rise effect. Everything comes, and then we've got the outro bumping along. 24 bars of the outro there, which the last 16, as you can see, most of my tracks I'll just cut. Instead of doing equalizer automation, I'll just have two separate kick tracks, and one you can see up in this part here, that one is low cut more than the other. And it just sort of helps with the transition and mixing in and out and stuff like that. So in the last little bit. And that's pretty much about it. If you want to know how I did any of the other parts in more detail, feel free to drop us a line. Yeah, but it's a pretty simple sort of track. It just relies on a fairly strong sort of groove, and I just sort of played around with the two grooves being the bass, where are we, and the kick. So it's pretty simple, but nice and simple, and it just chugs along. And then the second one is so there you go. As I said, any other questions, feel free to drop us a line. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to head over and give my Facebook page a like, and when you do, pick up your free massive presets. Also, feel free to drop us tracks on SoundCloud to the listening group, and also follow us on SoundCloud. All the links are in the description to all the social networks, and to listen to the track in full, and to also buy the track. All your support's really appreciated, and until next time, see you later.